Hello, everyone. I'm Jacob Robertson, and I'm your host of Banking on Your Business. Welcome to our very first episode in our interview with Jeff Crook. Jeff was just in here a couple days ago. We had a great conversation. You're going to get his insights on the current banking landscape, what types of loans he enjoys doing most, and what you can do to best prepare for those loans if you're seeking financing. All that and more, so stay tuned and let's dive in.
Transact Capital presents Banking on Your Business with Jacob Robertson.
So we wanted to start this interview like we're going to start all interviews. Let Jeff introduce himself, give him a chance to make a personal connection, because we believe business is personal. It's conducted with people that you know, people that you respect, and people that you trust. So with that, let's learn a little bit more about Jeff.
I'm Jeff Crook. I'm a commercial lender with Village Bank. We're a community bank in Central Virginia with 9 branches, 8 in Richmond, 1 in Williamsburg. Yeah. I've been with Village Bank almost 6 years. Helping grow the bank through commercial loans and deposits. On a personal level, I'm a native New Jerseyan who came to the University of Richmond, and so I'm a Yankee that hung around in Central Virginia. My wife, Caitlin, is the same, so we've both been in Richmond a bit over 20 years now.
Expanding on that, I wanted to find out, what is it that keeps Jeff in banking?
Village Bank has a very accessible, executive leadership. I like being able to pick up the phone and speak with the CEO, Jay Hendricks, or my boss, Max Moorhead, our other folks at the bank. So I enjoy the team that I work with. I enjoy the projects that I work on, for clients, serving an important purpose in the community, providing, capital so that businesses can form, grow, providing liquidity events for business owners of mature businesses that are looking to, retire and fund their golden years.
Diving a little bit deeper here, I wanted to get Jeff's insights, specifically on this topic. What is it that leads to a successful M&A transaction?
My favorite types of projects to finance are business acquisition loans.
Okay.
Referred to them a moment ago. Yeah, I like them because in many instances we're kind of making our borrower or client's dreams come through of getting into business ownership, themselves being able to create a legacy style asset for their loved ones. Mm-hmm. From a seller standpoint, being clear, the seller isn't our customer, but oftentimes we get very familiar with the seller. When these deals are great when both the buyer and the seller are rowing the oars in the same direction, and in the successful transactions, they always are. But providing the seller with a liquidity event that funds their retirement and whatever they want to do next, which kind of makes their dreams come true as well.
So for those of you who are considering or actively pursuing the purchase of a business, I wanted to ask Jeff, from his banker's point of view, what does a person need to consider when looking into an asset purchase of a business?
Typically the businesses are purchased through asset sale, mm-hmm. which means the buyers having to set up a new business that requires deposit accounts, the loan, maybe some business credit cards, other treasury services. So
With all this in mind and these great insights, I next had to ask Jeff, what type of loan does he recommend, and what type of loan is he seeing most often for business acquisitions?
We're typically using the SBA 7A loan product. One of the challenges in being a commercial banker is we need to think about what happens when things go wrong. How do we cover the bank's, mitigate the bank's risk mm-hmm. if we're not being paid on the loan? The SBA provides a 75% guarantee on these transactions if the loan is underwritten and documented, correctly. So the SBA's guarantee provides 3/4 of that backboard for us, typically in transactions where there is very little collateral available. The
Right,
borrower's
right.
buying the cash flows. The borrower's buying the goodwill and the good name of the company that they're buying. Goodwill and good name aren't things that banks can turn into cash quickly, if our
Right,
borrower isn't
right.
paying us. So the SBA, there are a lot of really nice things about the SBA 7A product. Can go out to a 10-year financing program, different types of payment terms available, flexible uses of funds. But typically we use that program to get deals done because it provides that SBA, that 75% guarantee to kind of provide a backboard on a transaction.
This led to a great conversation, and we wanted to dig deeper and really get Jeff's insights on the current banking landscape and how they're impacting these types of loans.
This is a very unique time in banking. There's, as anybody that's read a newspaper or been anywhere out from under a rock, has recognized, read about very rapid interest rate increases. And that provides, a variety of challenges for banks. It's not just, oh, wow, they're charging more interest. They're just making more money. We've also got our funding costs too. So
Right.
I would say we're in an environment right now where there are a few less loan requests that we're seeing because interest rates are higher. I would say there's a bit more uncertainty overall. Is there going to be a hard landing in the economy, a soft landing? Will there be any recession whatsoever? But I think borrowers need to recognize that banks don't have an unlimited amount of capital to lend right now. Like for years, banks could turn around and borrow money from the Federal Home Loan Bank for practically nothing,
Right.
and then lend it for more than practically nothing and,
Right.
and make money. Now there is a substantial cost of banks borrowing money. Our funding costs, have gone up. Money market rates have really gone up. So we have to be a lot more discerning about opportunities.
So from here, we wanted to ask Jeff a question from your point of view. As a CEO or a CFO of a company, maybe you're looking for a new loan. What should you do to best prepare?
And most commercial banks are holding loans in their portfolio, which means, our plan is to have to set aside enough money for those loans for the entire duration, of that loan.
Right, right.
So we don't have an unlimited amount of money, and I would think of it almost like a hotel. Sometimes, we don't have too many rooms available anymore. So make sure your financials are all organized, like understanding that if we don't provide you the hotel room tonight, we're probably going to get somebody else that's going to drive up and want to use a hotel room. So I would say that's the biggest thing, just understanding that this is a challenging environment for us, and we're trying to help get as many deals done as possible and make money ourselves, but it's a fight right now.
Lastly, we wanted to end the conversation with one final question. What does it mean to be a customer of Jeff's?
Well, one, you're working with the only commercial banker in Central Virginia by the last name of Crook. So, you get the opportunities to make fun of me for my last name, within the first, few seconds of the transaction. But beyond, being able to, throw tomatoes at me about that, I think a benefit that I provide the customers is I've been on their side of the desk, of bank. I've spent most of my career on their side. I know kind of like how those meetings feel when, the bankers show up and it feels, they've got 3 or 4 of them and they've all got briefcases and it feels like they must have come out of, like a small VW Beetle. I tend to try to initiate these relationships by myself. I would just say the biggest value I think I provide is I've been in their shoes before, which I think I'm still very empathetic to the way, sometimes bankers can make people feel. So I try to, help mitigate some of those feelings.
And that was all for today. Again, a big thank you to Jeff. He was a great guest, and we hope you enjoyed his insights. Tune in next time as we continue the conversation with a new guest. Thank you.
Transact Capital presents Banking on Your Business with Jacob Robertson.